If anything goes wrong, you guys carry on, okay?
Yes, carry on.
Got it.
Okay, so we gotta have Google here someplace. Oh, there it is, right there. Pull it up, Paul Murray.
And
Oh,
we
look at
got
that. He's live tonight. Wow.
If anything goes,
Uh-oh. Yeah. Look at that. He's live. Wow. Move that there, make that larger. So the guy came this morning, looked at the internet, but there was something, some kind of, I forget what he called it, a stringer or something, but that was dead on the line. He said your internet might be trying to connect to that, might have been the problem. But he changed the ends of both cables, but he says, I think there's something wrong in the neighborhood. So they got a guy next week. It'll take 4 or 5 days, but they're going to send a maintenance guy down here and he's going to go around and they figured there's a problem someplace in one of the lines around my neighborhood that's acting up because my neighbors are acting up too. And the guy across the street, well, he said he's on a different line than you. So it's got to be in the neighborhood or something. So, Corey Mano, good morning or good afternoon, and Sunstar and Mr. TJ. Hey, welcome everybody. Yeah, we didn't have a show this morning because Paul, no hydro, no internet or nothing. So,
yeah, I still have no hydro or internet, but what I did was I got a hold of Boost Mobile that I have my cell phone through. And I says, well, what do I got to do? And they said, you got an A32S, don't you? I said, yes. Says, well, you already have the
Hotspot.
capabilities of using it as a hotspot.
yeah, but that'll eat up on your data though, too, though.
Well, it depends
Yeah,
on how much.
I think it would, but I think my data is unlimited, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, but your hotspot's going to be separate data. So how much did they say you had? That you should have some kind of limit, whether it be 10 gigs, 15 gigs. They didn't tell you?
No.
Your plan probably includes so many free hotspot gigs a month, but there is going to be a limit. It's never unlimited on the hotspot part of your phone.
Well,
And there's
hopefully they'll
always
get my internet fixed.
the
And
standard.
the hydro or the electric is supposed to be fixed by either midnight tonight or first thing tomorrow morning.
Well, I had a feeling when Skip said there was power poles and lines down that it was going to be a minute.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he said they were down all over.
I'm gonna have to go and get. Hey, Dominic, how you doing? I'm gonna have to go and get.
Hey,
There he is.
Dominic.
I'm gonna have to go and get more gasoline because I've almost gone through 12 or 14 gallons already.
Oh goodness. What, you just like running up and down the road there?
No,
Maybe
I've got 3 5-gallon cans and I'm down to a half a gallon can left
Oh,
to fill
Have you
fill the tank.
You haven't gone out and explored to see where all the power's down at? Churchill?
No, because it's crazy. The main roads in town, there's no streetlights or anything, so it's a 4-way stop everywhere.
Oh, yeah, people don't pay attention.
It's 5-lane highway. Everything's backed up. It's just crazy.
After the last hurricane, 27 was like that, which is a main highway. I'm talking about, that's a state, highway. And they literally had to place troopers at each intersection because people were they weren't even stopping. So the cars that were crossing the highway were stopping, but the ones that were going straight, they weren't even bother stopping. They were just going right through the lights.
Well, the other thing that makes it worse, they've got
that way you can go.
the main highway going out of town, heading up the lake from south by the bridge. They've got it all torn up because they're replacing all of the underground pipes and everything else.
The infrastructure, yeah.
Why was
Yeah.
the power going out all over?
Oh, we had a bad storm here there.
Bad storm.
Yeah, Paul, you lost your power, right?
Yep.
How
Yeah,
long
you
were
went
you?
out.
How long was you out with the power?
I'm
Still
still
out.
out. I'm running a generator.
Yeah, he's been out since yesterday.
Uh,
It was north of us and south of us that lost it.
oh, she just got back from Michigan, and it was out like just north of.
North and south of us.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's
Yeah,
80,000 people without it.
Hey,
80,000.
somebody's home. Hey,
What I heard.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not where
Paul's-
Paul's at.
Paul's got is he's getting ready. He's getting ready. He's lucky he's not sitting there with a knife and a fork.
that poor boy's been starved to death while you've been gone. Now, talk about TJ.
When did you get out in your trailer, Hodges?
Oh, about 2 hours ago.
Oh,
I've been cutting some grass. I did all the weed whacking, but I just cut around the trailer for now. I'll do the rest later or something or tomorrow.
The time you broke the ketchup bottle and think that one of his guests.
I had 275,000 views last night, Dominic.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
High fives all around. Good to see.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think tomorrow we're gonna tear down Diane's gazebo tomorrow. She got a brand new one to put up. I'm gonna tear the old one down tomorrow.
What do you want? You want to go outside? Just a minute. She's bugging the hell out of me.
Okay, I'll let you.
All right, well, I'm gonna go myself. I just wanted to pop in and say hello.
No worries, Anthony.
Okay.
All right, we'll see y'all
Hey,
later.
Hey TJ, you have to go back to behaving yourself now.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
They're my precious.
You want us to report to your wife for you?
No, I think I'm all right.
He's like, no, I gotta go. Bye. Sorry. Bye, everybody.
Like,
Guys, see ya.
you know, you went to see a bunch of pole dancers yesterday, didn't you? Know?
You better hit that
it
leave
was-
button,
it was,
TJ.
It was nice. It was
All right,
nice
bye.
of you when you went to that strip club to show us
No,
the
no,
video.
no. He left. Told me, better hit that damn leave button. He's gonna get himself in trouble.
Yeah.
What's up, Sunstar? And
Hello, everybody.
Corey, how's it going?
What you want? Yeah, I don't know how long I can use this hotspot, you know.
Well, your standard plans usually are 10 gigs, so you could probably be on here for about an hour or two before you do.
Hmm.
It depends on how much live streaming is eating up your data. I don't know what the rate on that is because it's different with everything. If you're watching a movie in low res, it's going to use a lot less data. If you're watching a movie in high resolution, more data. So I don't know how
do you want?
much, because there could be a lot of shit running on this computer in the background too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
eating up that, yeah.
Come
He's got the screen going behind him too, right?
Yeah.
It's
on, let's go. Potty. Go potty, hurry up.
80,000 people without power. That's a lot.
Mm.
Well, we got probably that or more that over here in Ontario. Yeah. We had a couple of tornadoes touch down.
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys aren't sending people back and forth over the border to help out too. Cause that's what they do down here. We'll get people all the way from Canada.
Yeah.
We had, one company and all their trucks were green. And they were down here.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a whopping 7 people watching us.
Yes.
Hey, got a good
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. We're off to a flyer.
Gracie's eating her dinner
Basic.
around the other side.
Yeah. Good dog. Good. Must be hungry. I haven't fed him yet. I should feed him. I guess it is 5 o'clock. But
Good evening, Sunstar.
Mm.
And TJ, of course, was here and he left before he got in trouble.
You left before he started.
Okay, Corey Mano.
Corey.
Yeah, well, what I'm lucky is I haven't been able to run any air conditioner or anything for 2 days. I'm lucky it hasn't been that hot. It's only like 75 degrees here.
I have to get the chat again. Yeah, I know. My chat's gone.
Your chat's gone?
No, the
Oh.
chat's not moving.
Yeah, where's everybody?
Yeah.
How many people are watching?
6.
Yeah, give it a little bit.
Yeah.
They might have assumed you weren't going live because of this morning and your power issues and stuff. I didn't get Hodge's message until after I got up. I slept in a little bit, so.
Up there the other day. I wonder where it was.
How'd your night go there, Dominic?
It was actually, I was really tired, so I just went to bed because Tammy Jean didn't go on, and I had another commitment as well. So, because a mate of mine rang me and said, "Oh, you want to go to lunch?" I thought, "Oh, yeah." I thought, "Oh, not yet," because I got to, watch Tammy Jean. And then when I get ready to start to watch, it says no live stream tonight. So I rang my mate back and said, "Yep, I'm on for lunch." So we had this. We went to a Chinese restaurant, which
Oh,
was pretty
nice.
nice actually. So that was good. I'd never been there before. They'd been there once. So, yeah. And it was a nice and sunny day. So we got to sit in the sun, nice winter sunny day. We got to sit in the sun at least. So that was good. Yeah. Hmm. Bit like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just sending out some invites.
Yeah.
Just now?
Well, but the personal ones, the other ones I had, it's attached, but
Okay, dogs, I'm not ready. Wait
Waiting for stupid two buddy to catch up.
Hey, come here.
I always
Thing
hate
on
that.
them. Yeah, I know. What's funny is it updates your views instantly
Yeah.
on your videos, but everything else it takes like a day and a half to.
Mm.
That I walked into.
That's a good way to like
Exactly.
check your view count real quick.
Yeah.
What's up, Jody?
Hey, Jody.
What's up, Chuck?
The chat's moving again.
It's looking
Jody.
dicey out here.
weather
Jody coming in with
moving
the
in,
clips.
is it?
Looks like it. It's like some cumulonimbus clouds are strolling on in for a visit.
Ah,
Hey,
they're really great to. They're really great to photograph.
Nimbus. Nimbus means rain. I learned that for
Yep.
107 when I was studying.
Yep.
what's up?
Hey, Captain Joe there too now.
What's up, Joe? Oh, Joe, send me a picture of your complete setup now that you got it all done
Yeah.
with your speaker and everything. Cause that was a cool speaker. Hopefully you
Can I have
displayed
my
it.
lane? Freaking shitbox key is like in. Can you like pick one lane? You only fit in half of one. Do you have to take them all? Sorry. Damn. Just say no to drugs.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything good planned for the weekend?
Not really.
Okay. Thought it was just me. Makes me feel better.
Boy, you having a pretty boring weekend?
Oh, there's nothing exciting planned, that's for sure.
Hey, that's the weekend you sit around, catch up on some TV shows, hang out.
Yeah.
Relax a little.
It's a weekend win. We'll probably do yard work, which is super exciting. Lori's probably gonna do some narration for a video. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that you
Yeah.
got some help, you know?
Well, she's the director of operations. I've said the following, dig here. Okay. The way it goes, Paul.
Yeah. So how you doing today, Drone Shots?
That Jody?
Yep, Jody's here, and so is Captain Joe.
Yes.
Joe and Jody.
Oh,
Sunstar's been here right along.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
TJ popped
That's
in
right.
and left before he got in trouble. So,
Exactly.
because his wife is home now.
Yep.
Oh, so there'll be
Back
no
on the
more
way.
freaking, no more
No
eating
more
chips
wild
in the
antics
car
like
when you
you've
get out
been
of prison.
Oh, I'm not.
doing.
Oh, it's funny.
He was hammering down those potato chips or whatever in his vehicle, like he just got out of prison. Like,
Yeah.
party days are over. Boss is back.
Well, yeah, well, you know, he went out partying a couple of nights. Took us with him.
Nice. Speaking of
Oh,
which,
so,
let's see if the-
on Dan's new scooter update video on my scooter,
Mm-hmm.
put on July 3rd, 2023, two idiots on a live stream came up with the most epic idea to ever be filmed.
all right,
Is it
Lori's here. I'm
possible?
gonna jump.
Put
I might
nitrous
get in
oxide.
later, but
Yeah.
see.
Has
Hey,
he ridden
Mark,
it yet?
Uh,
There he goes.
That's funny.
Has he ridden it yet, Justin?
No. But it's all, I think it's all ready to go. He wanted me to come up there, but I just don't have the money for gas and stuff at the moment, so. I told him he's just gonna have to do it without me because I can't get up
Yeah.
there. Oh, that speaker looks awesome in front of your monitor, Joe. So here's Joe's new setup right here.
Oh, yeah. High fives all around.
And he thought, so he called me up and he thought that there was something wrong with the sound on his computer.
Yeah.
Because he originally thought that the monitor had speakers in it,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't. And so he ordered this speaker here and it looks really nice in front of the monitor. I
Yeah,
like
it
that.
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Now he just needs to take this and chuck it in the trash.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I have an
yeah.
extra one.
No, that's 2011, dude. It's
I
an iMac.
got three
Truck
of them here.
Yeah, well, that's also an old ass iMac, and
Mm.
it's honestly they're not as updatable as like a PC is, where you can kind of keep replacing stuff on them and kind of updating it, and it keeps getting updates. iMac at one point will stop giving it updates.
Mm.
That is a nice setup, Joe. I really like that. That speaker, that speaker looks like it was made for that. Looks
Mm.
really good. Good job.
Jody
Yeah.
just got done working for the week, and so he's off for the weekend.
Oh, great.
But I did,
Look at there in the background of Paul's picture in the corner. It's 3 large Tim Horton coffees sitting there.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
drank one, so there's only 3 left.
but I
Wow.
did quick assist with him and got him his computer all updated on all the drivers, everything. But his computer is all good to go.
Yes. And we're ready. Hmm.
Oh, I thought that was a 2011, you said. Okay, my bad. Uh. Okay. Yeah, alright, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you had 2 different ones.
Well, it's a nice looking setup anyway.
Yeah.
I'm curious if
Hey,
mouse
Dan.
with Mouse Without
No,
Borders would
no.
work between the 2.
No,
I don't know if that's cross,
2019, yes.
I don't know if
Anything
that's
after
cross.
2018 does, I believe.
What, use Mouse Without Borders?
I'm pretty sure. No, I haven't, but I've actually looked it up. I might
Yeah,
be
'cause-
wrong.
I'm curious if you can use it across platforms with the PC to an iMac.
Ah, cross-platform.
What are the
I-
kids wrestling
be
over
the
there
one
now,
to-
Paul?
huh?
The
Oh, I
kids
don't-
wrestling? Oh, Vader went down and sniffed his bowl.
yeah.
Hey. That's the
Got
one.
a plastic bottle that, or he likes chewing on, no?
I have
Okay.
to look that up later and see. I'm just curious, cause then you could just use the one mouse and keyboard.
The one,
Yeah.
the other one, DIANNE. Waiting for her.
Oh. Vader keeps going over and sniffing the bowl.
Yeah, he'll go and grab one little piece and then chew it, and walk away, and then he'll back and do it again sometimes. And yep, see there, he gets one piece.
Gracie's keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, yeah. She's looking for Diane. That's her little buddy, Diane. So look at her, got her ears up. When I said that,
Yep.
Yep, looking around. Where is she? She'll be here in about a half an hour or so.
Here comes
Hey,
Ron.
Ron.
See, I
Hey,
told you
Ron.
to- Told you to pick up.
Ron's on the road again. Which today? Friday? You working? No, he's not. Can't hear us. He's froze. Hey, iRobot. Do.
Yeah. That was quick. JDS.
Oh, wow. Well, worst case scenario, Jody could always, strip the parts out of it.
Mm.
Hey, Joe John said he picked up a Dell All-in-One.
Do you know what, Gen the i5 is and what, RAM is it, DDR3 or 4?
Well, he said it's an i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. But just for the hard drive would be good if you just go in and freaking wipe it out.
Sounds great, JDS.
Hey, JDS.
Did you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Fucking Verizon, that's the end of the month. Getting towards the end of the month and they turn your stuff back. God,
Yeah.
I hate them.
You don't have unlimited high-speed internet?
I'm on my phone
Yeah, I know.
on the road. Yeah, I have
Well,
unlimited. But
You
they
have
still
to,
do it every
you
month.
have to watch it though, the way they word it when you buy your plan. If it says unlimited data, then that means they're gonna throttle back. But you have to make sure it says unlimited high-speed data and then read the fine print next to it, make sure it doesn't say they're gonna throttle it.
Mm-mm.
That's where people get confused and then they think they have unlimited high speed.
Yeah, you get unlimited, but once you break, say 25 gigabytes, they put you down to a lower speed.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I
Struggling.
can't even make phone calls sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're in Florida, you definitely want T-Mobile over the rest of them.
Mhm.
T-Mobile is like everywhere in Florida. And then there's certain state, you gotta really look at whatever state you're living in. Certain carriers are better than others, but in Florida, definitely T-Mobile. Because even Ron noticed that when he was down here with his Verizon phone, he didn't have the best service.
Oh, I did.
Remember that?
No.
If you would have
Yeah, I
had
had all
T-Mobile,
kinds of
you'd have been fine. What's up, Wedge?
Hey, Wedge.
She's been tearing New York a new one.
Yeah.
Well, Hodges, I think I just have one of your moments.
What's that?
I was supposed to meet a girl for lunch, and we've only talked like 2 or 3 times, but she always wants to text all the time, never talk on the phone. How the hell are you going to get to know somebody by text?
Well, you can't.
And you can't. And then my plan was to meet her. We were going to have like a early dinner, and then I was going to leave from there and go to work. Got about 10 miles down the road, and she texted me and said, "Oh, she tested positive for COVID today," and I don't know whether to believe it or not. Really don't.
Mm.
Ron, just write her off.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Well, wait till you get to my point where you're scared them so bad they move to another province.
Well, this one just moved to this state from Indiana. Yeah. But you know, the thing is, she keeps, like, I don't text her first in the morning. She texts me first every day. And it's a hi, how are you? Have a nice day type thing. And I'm just getting tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm really bored with it.
Mm.
And we finally,
Yeah. I see JDS says, how's it feel to be 29 years old? You're wrong. I'm 31. Okay. Wiggin big. It sounds like she tested positive for bullshit.
yeah,
You gotta learn the
Yeah.
emojis, Ron. You gotta send an eggplant with the wet emoji.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I remember you talking about those emojis that one night.
All about the
I'm going to show
emojis.
you something here. It's freaking hilarious. If I can find it. Oh. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to show it to you. And this is somebody that wanted to contact me, okay? I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, we can say it.
Looks like a guy with pigtails.
Yeah, no shit. I'm sure that's a guy.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. No, this one here, she seems nice. She took me out for dinner or lunch yesterday. So,
Yeah.
like, I invited her down here for tomorrow and stuff, but her brother's coming in from Collingwood or something, so kind of busy tomorrow. So,
Kind of weird somebody your age is more into the texting than talking on the phone, because usually it's the
Yeah.
younger generation, like my generation and younger.
Yeah.
Are usually the ones that are into the more texting.
Yeah.
Wagon Big says, Paul, that looks like
Bertha's long
Bertha's
lost
long lost
brother.
brother.
Yeah.
I looked at that and went, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
64 years old. That person didn't look 64.
Yeah.
Were you calling him?
I don't know if they had any more pictures or not. That was on Facebook dating or something, you know. Oh yeah, I retired from trucking, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? I just figured I already was on the road. Thank God she texted me early. But
Mm.
I'm like, you know what? My house is completely tore up. My contractor's coming tomorrow,
Mhm.
starting on my kitchen. I completely emptied out my kitchen, all the cabinets, because he's got to tear cabinets out and everything. I got stuff everywhere. And you guys know, you've seen my house. I don't like
Yeah.
disarray. So,
You need to stay away.
yeah. So I figured, you know what? I'm already on the road. My bag is packed. Like, fuck it. I'll just go to work and I'll go up to the apartment tonight. I'll get a good night's sleep. I won't have to get up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. I'll
Mhm.
already be up there.
Well, just put the biggest deer in charge. That's all.
Yeah.
What's that?
Put the biggest deer you have in charge.
Yeah, those pain in the asses. I gotta block off my deck when I get back, next trip back. There were 4 or 5 of them under there today, and they're just tearing all that brand new stone up already.
Yeah, they're good.
I think you should build a patio with a covered thing there and, a little pool and.
You could build them a little hot tub, Ron. A little walk-in hot tub for the deer and
Yeah. Pain in the butt.
It's because they're getting so used to you.
I know.
Now they're getting super comfortable.
Mm.
well, they're like family. I understand that.
In a way, it's kind of cool, like
Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot of people, Ron, pet deer.
That's true. It's not like they're purposely, kicking stuff around, but I put a lot of work into that, and I don't want it destroyed. They could go in my front yard, and all those pine trees. There's plenty of shade there.
Well, put a canopy up for them.
Something. Yeah.
Over in the middle of the field, just put a canopy up there.
Hmm.
I know somebody here that was up by Dutton there. They're out in the country, but they had a
up,
big bucket coming in to their greenhouse and laying down.
Oh,
Mr.
geez.
Jackson.
Hey, damn.
There's the link in the chat if you want, and you guys want to learn what the emojis really mean.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, the girls at work, when they were explaining all them, I'm like, holy shit.
I explained it to Matt when that one girl he was fooling around with for a while sent him the eggplant emoji. And he literally thought she wanted eggplant for dinner. I was like, bro, that's not what she wants. I sent him the list. He goes, holy crap. He showed me them. He said, he showed the message. He said, I literally sent her a thing back, asking her if she wanted eggplant for dinner.
Yeah, you should have just bought us some eggplant.
Yeah, she wanted him to plant some eggs.
I was laughing so hard when he said that to me. Yo, he's been out of work for 3 days now because of his back.
Oh, no.
You on tonight?
If he's able to sit in his chair comfortably. Cause I messaged him last night and I said, you still out of work? He goes, yeah. Hopefully he's been sitting in the hot tub because he's got a hot tub in his backyard next to his pool. So
Oh,
if I was
great.
him, I'd be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I would too.
That's
Oh, yeah.
one way to
Hey,
lose
I'd love
Rod.
a
a
hot,
pinch
yeah, hey,
nerves.
Rod, I'd love a hot tub. My back is cooked.
Yeah, when you throw your back out or something, that's one of the best things to do is sit in one of those for about an hour.
Yeah.
It'll
I
help
must
loosen
remember
everything
that.
up.
No, a car with heated seats. It's great.
Okay.
See, and then Tim was telling him to take get some muscle relaxers.
Muscle
Me,
relaxers, yeah, those work well.
Yeah.
I don't like muscle relaxers because they knock me out so bad that I feel stiffer when I wake up because I don't move hardly at all when I'm sleeping. And so when I wake up, I actually feel stiffer than when I went to bed. So I generally don't like them.
Well, you're not supposed to stay in a hot tub too long anyways, are you?
An hour's not bad.
Yeah, you don't want to fall asleep in there.
In a
I mean,
hot
if you-
tub, typically 15 minutes is the
Yeah, you
limit.
can go 20, but yeah.
I'll sit in there for an hour. You get out, you feel like a wet noodle. Ah.
Exactly.
Unless it's set at 104, you won't be in there an hour. You'd done be cooked raw.
Well, if you read the link there, JDS, it'll tell you what the eggplant emoji means. I put it in the chat.
Well, hell, I don't, just tell us. I remember you told us once, but I
It
forgot
means
what it was.
it means so if a girl sends that to you, it means she wants your penis.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole
Put it
list of
simply,
them.
yeah.
The emojis don't really mean what they mean.
Yeah.
Does anything.
What, a
Exactly.
smiley face don't mean a smiley face?
So if you send your
Yeah.
buddy the eggplant emoji because you're thinking about eggplant and you really want some, he's probably liable to punch you next time he sees you.
I was saying you're liable to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I heard a story of an old lady that was talking to a younger girl. I don't know, somebody had died or da 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 da. And the older lady at the end of her text, she put LOL, and it pissed the other girl off. Because she's like, oh, she's laughing at me.
Yeah,
Turns out what she was trying to say was lots of love.
exactly. Yeah.
It's so it's like you got to be careful. Things don't always acronyms don't always mean what you think they mean.
Exactly.
So where are you now, Ron?
Belle Fourche, almost into Belle
Okay.
Fourche, South Dakota.
How long
I'll
you got
bet he-
before you get there?
What's that?
I said I'd
How
unsubscribe.
long before you get
Yeah.
get the tickets in?
Unsubscribe.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, good 3 hours.
Miami
Third
never
rock
sleeps.
from the sun. That's where we're all at.
Yep.
It'll. Like I said, at least I don't have to get up at 2 in the morning now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it in daylight.
Later, JDS.
Hey, at least Ron and the rest of us over here are on the light side. Dominic's on the dark side.
No, it's just the sun has just risen.
Ah, it just came up.
Yep. Probably about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we had clouds this morning. Took it about an extra 15 minutes to get over the clouds. Look
Yeah.
good though.
And then Joe said he thought he got his Air 2S calibrated. Why was he having
Oh,
problems?
right.
with it? Oh, he had to do it on DJI system.
Mm.
I got a 50-acre farm I gotta do by Monday or so. I gotta go fly.
Here, since I showed
Yeah.
yesterday, I guess I'll show today's.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's off the 3X telephoto lens.
Hmm.
I love that lens.
So that's sunrise, right?
Yeah, that's sunrise.
It's
It's already up. It's just hidden by the clouds.
Yeah, like that. Could you be facing the east or something?
Yeah, that's facing east from where I live. The ocean there is about 3.5 to 4 miles. And then let me pull up
Hey, Lynn.
one of my other panos.
Lynn's in the
Right.
chat. Paul.
This was just
Hey, Lenny.
after the sun started peeking over the cloud.
Mm.
All right,
Did you-
Lynn, I don't have internet again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is,
Nice.
Lynn got hydro?
Yeah, Lynn's doing fine because she's got that Generac,
Yeah, that's right.
and her electric only went out momentarily.
Oh, so she still got regular hydro though.
Yep, Yep.
Power.
Electricity.
So-
Power, electricity. Well, thank God I know what hydro is, because I was watching a Canadian program last night and they were talking about hydro. So I'm thinking, oh, good. At least I know what that is. If I didn't know that, I would be thinking hydro. What?
Yeah. Well, even it's Ontario Hydro, but they call it Hydro 1.
Yeah, all these new terms.
Mm. If you're in Oregon, it's the dam because there's lots of dams, or Washington, lots of dams out there.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his internet back, Lynn. He's running his computer off his phone at the moment. And it's mysterious because we don't know how many gigs his phone plan has on the hotspot. So we're going to find out shortly.
Yeah, if Paul goes,
When he
"Please
gets a
stop,"
food.
you know what happened.
How much
Yeah.
crap's running in the background on Paul's computer right now.
Well, I got several up.
You're running a bunch of your computers off your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to suck it up quick then.
Yep.
Mine's unlimited, so
Mine's supposed to be unlimited.
Plus, it's
We'll
helpful.
find out
But
if it is
Justin says that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, because you have
they
unlimited
throttle at some
data.
point.
Yeah, but your data
Yeah.
and your hotspot are two separate data plans on your phone now.
Yeah, they'll have a
Mm,
So like Sarah's phone, she gets 10 gigs of hotspot a month, but she has unlimited high-speed data for her phone itself. So it's separated.
I don't know that mine's separated, but mine's a
It
corporate account. Mine's a corporate account, so
Yeah.
it's different.
Well, you probably have unlimited hotspot, so it's
Mhm.
like my old corporate phone had the same thing too, the one that I had through corporate.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was unlimited
exactly.
hotspot. You could use it as much as you wanted.
You hear about Joe there? He put it up in there 2S and took off, got up about 3 feet and shot off to the left. Then began to dive left.
oh no.
You know,
IU calibration, but he couldn't do a compass one for some reason.
did you guys see all the specs on the Air 3?
Yeah.
You know, I look at it and I kind of go, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It just, I guess if you like 4K 60 and down, it's an okay drone.
Sean Geeks Fauna did a video earlier today saying, I guess there was a unboxing that was leaked.
Yeah, there was. I saw
Yeah.
I saw Sean's video.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the shit isn't really leaks. It's just pre-promotional crap that DJI is leaking on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, in the case of that video, it was probably one that they put the wrong time or date on the premiere on the
Yeah.
it was already
Yeah.
posted. It was already posted up and
Did you?
And I'm telling you, if you're
Yeah,
an
get you-
influencer and you're getting free crap like that, that's something you need a triple check before you hit the
yeah,
upload
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Like,
Gitchy.
So
He's in the chat.
there's two specs on it that
And we be.
Wayne
Yeah.
B.
that are interesting. And looking at the specs. Not the camera. I don't think the camera is whatever. Supposedly it's got some better algorithms, so it'd be a bit better. Okay, whatever. You know, I can buy a $1,500 camera or a $5,000 camera and shoot the same pictures, and you
Good luck
probably
with that,
can't.
mate.
You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them. So I don't know what little tweak they've done to the algorithm, but it's like.
Oh, that's cool, Len. Yep, talk to you later.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
But the two things that are on that drone that's interesting spec wise is one, it has ascending descending speed that's actually faster than the Mavic 3 Pro.
Oh, great.
So I guess if you want to go up really fast or come down really fast and break the arms, you can. And the other one is it's got the same speed as the Mavic 3 Pro in sports mode. It'll do 45 mile an hour, 21 meters a second.
Oh, yeah.
So it does the same. And so that's different than the Air 2 series, right? The Mavic 2 was still faster than the Air 2 forward speed, where they're now matched on the forward speed. The one interesting thing that I'm going to want to know after the damn thing launches, and I keep looking at the bottom of that drone, is if the Insta360 sphere will fit on that drone. And the bottom of that drone looks pretty damn close to the Air 2, Air 2S, that I think the sphere might still freaking fit. You might have to put a pad or something in there to just snug it up a bit, but it's looking like it might actually fit. If the sphere fits, then I may end up getting a Mavic 3 just to replace, or the Air 3 just to replace my Air 2, to fly the sphere around, because the Air 3 is going to have better battery life, right? Which means it can hold that can fly that sphere around longer in the air as well.
Yeah.
And remote ID. Although the Air 2, I don't have a 2S, I got an Air 2. The Air 2 will eventually be remote ID compliant, but to have a drone that could fly that sphere and have better battery time, yeah, that's worth considering.
Wondering if the Air 3 is gonna make it on the list of drones that companies are gonna want for 107 work. Because the Air 2 and the Air 2S haven't really got on those lists. Along with the minis.
So AkiSync 4, there's two changes in the AkiSync 4. It's now 6 antennas instead of 4, with 4 receivers, 2 transmitters. In some ways, I kind of worry about the transmitters walking on top of each other. I would presume if they put 2 transmitters on the drone, that there's one in the front leg, one in the back leg, and you sort of don't worry about the 2 stomping on top of each other. But if you've ever taken two trucks with CBs and put the antennas pretty damn close to each other, you'll understand the challenge of those 2 antennas sort of screwing with each other. So I'm not so sure about the 2 receivers. The other thing that has changed, there's no power difference because they can't up the wattage. That's limited to 4 watts per the whole Wi-Fi spec. So they can't up the wattage. What they have done is they've added, so they have multiple sort of megahertz banding where they'll put multiple bands together. They have 1, 10, 20, 40 right now, megahertz sort of bandwidth. They've in 04, they've added 3 and 5. So they've actually added 2 lower sorts of band things. And I think that's what, if you go further distance, right, you don't want to be trying to push as much data. So they've added sort of the lower throughput in to get to the farther range, but it's still the exact same frequency range. To me, looking at it, it doesn't look like there's no reason why an 03 controller couldn't work with it. It's not like it's that big a deal because 04 still supports the bands that 03 supports. Number of antennas, okay, whatever. That's not that the number of antennas doesn't really change much with the actual software protocol that they're using for the frequency hopping kind of thing. So that's the change on the 04 is they've added a couple of lower bandwidth possibilities into it and added a couple more antennas. Okay. I still look at it and go, yeah, whatever. It's a tweak of 03. It's not really a rewrite of 03. So it's most definitely backwards compatible.
Joe said all the Air 3 has done is pissed off the Mavic 3 OG owners, even with the smaller sensor, many more features. Also, the RC2 has almost the specs of the RC Pro pissed off again. That's because they hit a plateau. Now these drones when they're coming out, they can't be so far different.
It doesn't have the nits. It doesn't have the nits.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have the HDMI out. And that's why I went for the Pro over the other, because the HDMI out helps with doing live streams. Because you can live stream off the other device to live stream off that RC controller. The other part of it is that controller has the processor to manage the video for live streaming, where the RC does not. And I presume this new one does not either. So the two critical things, which is the video processing and the HDMI out, are still not there. Great. They added extra antennas to the end of it. Great. The reality is visual line of sight. Is it going to make any difference? No.
See, I think DJI, I think they should just stop with the GPS drones for a little while and just put out a bunch of different style FPV drones. That'll give them time to get a little bit more tech built up. on
The
camera
cameras have reached
side.
the point that as long as they keep doing what they're doing with the camera sensors, that it's bullshit. There's minuscule improvement to be had.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
until
saying.
until they go to using BSI backside illuminated sensors or stacked, which is even more expensive.
Mm.
Ron knows what these are because they're in his freaking camera. Well, I don't know that your camera's stacked, Ron. Is it BSI?
Yep.
So BSI, but not stacked. Yeah.
But that's
So,
what I'm saying. They
The
could.
BSI
put out-
sensors have better color dynamics and better low light to them than a standard sensor. I don't give a fuck what they do to that sensor. If they take that micro four thirds and make it a APS-C size and it's basically the exact same damn sensor, it's not going to do much to the quality.
I'm saying they could put out like over the course of the next year, they could put out 5 or 6 different FPV drones, different styles. I mean, I think that would give them time to come up with something that's significantly new and different.
Mm.
Because it's like, what can they come out with next? I mean, they're just like it's like almost a plateau, and they're just these
You get
drones.
all
are
these-
get-
Yeah, it's out of control. All these, some of these drone channels, they're having all these meetings and worrying about the specs, and when it comes down to it, they post their video on YouTube. You don't see a difference.
Yeah,
Everybody's
exactly. We have
done.
reached that point. Doesn't make a
And
difference.
everybody's got to have the latest and greatest.
Well, and then in some senses, it's not the greatest, even though it's the latest.
The one thing that I'll give that drone, because it's the camera that I like the most on my Mavic 3 Pro, is that 3X optical. And it's the same sensor that's on the Mavic 3 Pro.
Well, see what Joe is saying is, the nits aren't a big deal. Are a big deal, but the
I'll be right
HDMI
back.
doesn't affect what I do. Could have saved me a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, if you don't need that HDMI out for whatever reason, whether you're like live streaming kind of stuff, or streaming to external monitors because you're doing jobs where you're doing that kind of stuff, then yeah, the Pro, you could have waited and the RC2 would be perfect.
I mean,
remember-
if these guys aren't doing professional work, they might as well just sit back with what they have, and enjoy it. 'Cause
There's, I tell everybody, I think I said that, I said this on this show, that obviously I have the Autel Evo 2 Pro 6K, that 1-inch sensor. And the next big drone that I bought was that Mavic 3 Pro. And can I say that Mavic 3 Pro picture quality wise is really, by the time you're all said and done, $3,000. By the time you buy extra batteries and all that other crap, is it $3,000 better? Hell no, it's probably $100 better. Quality wise, difference wise.
what I'm saying is, like, if whatever you have now, shit, I would sit on it for another 3 years before I'd worry about buying something else.
Yeah, no, agree. We've reached
Because-
the same point of cell phones where it's just not fucking worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Really not. Skip 1 or 2 generations because there's just nothing there.
Right.
The other part of this is going to be really bloody interesting, and I think some people are going to scream really fucking loud if DJI doesn't do it, is the way they did the vertical on the Air 3. The vertical on the Air 3 is just a crop on the sensor. So if they don't release a firmware update for the Mavic 3, all the Mavic 3s for that matter, on that micro four thirds, you could do a vertical crop on that micro four thirds at 2.7K, just like they're doing Actually, I wonder if you couldn't do a 4K crop, vertical crop on that Micro Four Thirds sensor. But there's literally nothing stopping them from doing the exact same thing on other drones where the gimbal doesn't spin. Great. Give us a software crop on the sensor. Perfect. Give it to me. If they don't give it to the Mavic 3 Pro, they deserve to be shot. It's stupid easy to do.
Yeah, because I kind of, I hear a lot of these drone shows too, and they get the latest drone and they're like, "Oh, it's so much
Yeah.
better," and
No,
it's
it's
like,
not.
and then they almost like shit on the old one, like it wasn't any good. And
The only
it's
thing,
like,
the obvious better in this case is flight time. Right?
well, and
It's
let's
rated
face
at
it,
40, whatever. So
most of the guys aren't going out like Dre and burning through 8, 9 batteries doing professional work. Most guys will go out and literally only use 1, maybe 2 batteries in one flight. So they're so worried about having an hour flight time on each battery, but they might actually only fly about 40 minutes. But they'll want, they'll want an hour on each battery and 3 batteries for their set. And it's just like,
30 minutes is 32 minutes is kind of max, I think, because your brain, if you're actually flying and you're not like just throwing a drone up, doing a hyperlapse kind of thing and sitting there, if you're actually flying it around, by the time you hit that 30-minute mark, your brain is kind of ready to bring that drone down because the concentration it has taken to fly for 30 straight minutes and stare at that screen and, worry about setting your shot up and not flying into something and keeping your eye on airplanes and other crap that may be around and wires and trees, and your brain's ready for a break after about a half an hour.
and Wayne, this is what I'm saying is, if you're somebody that has tons of money to blow and you can buy every new drone that comes out, by all means, if that's what you want to do it. But if you're somebody that, you saved up to buy that Air 2S, don't worry about going out and buying the next drone that comes out. The Air 2S could serve you for at least 2 to 3 years solid.
If you
Yeah, a
need-
long
if you
time.
need
Good.
that- Yeah, but if
That's
you
all I'm
need
saying.
certain things, yes.
Just don't be if you don't have the money like that, don't try to keep up with everybody else because you don't need to.
You know
That's
what
all I'm
matters for the
saying.
longevity? You know what the one thing is that really matters for longevity on the drones? Batteries.
Yeah.
Access to batteries. As long as you can still keep buying batteries for the thing, you can keep flying the damn thing. Because the batteries are gonna swell or wear out or wear down or whatever. It's LiPo. It's just the nature of the LiPo batteries. So as long as you can get back, that's the beautiful part. Although I kind of hate what Autel did with the different chipsets between the V1, V2, V3 on the Evo 2. The good part is they're still using the exact same battery as V1. So I'm going to have access to batteries for those drones for a long time, because the V3 just launched. So I get another 3 to 5 years of being able to buy brand new batteries, probably. Because they sold a bunch of the Enterprise, the Evo 2 Enterprise drones too. So
I mean, shit,
they're going to make those batteries for a long time.
if you're a halfway decent editor, dude, you could get away with the Mini 1 SE for the next 3 years. I mean, seriously. I mean,
Nah, that
if
one's a
you're-
little dark. That one's a little dark, but I guess, yeah, you can always brighten it up depending on how
I'm
good
saying
of
if
an
you're a
editor you are.
decent editor or you're a halfway
Yeah.
decent editor and you understand how to do certain things, I mean, you could get away with making pretty good videos with that. If you're just posting stuff to YouTube, nothing extensive. I'm not talking about like professional work or nothing, but if you just want to
So-
fly around and get some footage.
Yeah, like I said, for me, maybe the Air 3 if that sphere fits. If the sphere fits, then it's probably worth having something that can fly a lot longer to fly that sphere with.
I just
'Cause
hate seeing people that stress themselves out because I do see people on some of these channels and they're just like, man, I need to get rid of this Air 2 so I can get the Air 3 because they don't have the money to go out and buy the Air 3. So they're using the Air 2 as part of their money to be able to purchase it. And I'm just like, there's no reason to stress on it like that. Like, just enjoy your Air 2. It's going to do what you need to do.
I think the ones that are ultimately in a weird spot are the Mavic 3 Classic guys. that telephoto on the Air 3 is worth it. I'm telling you, that's that's the difference between my Autel and that Mavic 3 Pro. The one thing that I go, okay, this is great to have, is not the quality of the picture. It's having those two optical zooms on there. That's
did
the
they-
one thing that made that drone freaking worth it. But then again, I shoot rockets, so I need to be able to see from a long ways away. So I had a intended purpose for it.
Mark says something that's gonna piss a lot of people off is the fact that DJI are not releasing SDK version 5 to be compatible with Apple,
Mm,
only Android.
Wow, that's interesting.
yeah.
You know, that's so funny too, as I always thought that. I was like, you know, as much as they promoted Apple on their packaging and everything, at least here in the US they did, you know, works best with Apple. And that's how they kind of marketed it. But yet they ran an Android-based software on their controllers. And I was like, you would have thought they would have partnered with Apple and said, why don't you make an iOS just for our drones?
Yeah.
And we'll run
You know
Apple
what's
on there.
scary? You know what's scary about that? There is a scary part to this. Why
Yeah.
would you not want to do it on Apple?
I mean, my experience when I was flying a lot, I never had issues with Apple
No,
It
no, no,
seemed
no,
like-
no, 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 no.
as far as
It's
flying. went.
not an Apple versus it's kind of an Apple versus Android thing. But why would they? There's a scary thing to this, but you have to kind of be in computer security to wonder. On Apple, you have to get certified through Apple. There is no side load.
They're
Yeah.
super strict on
Android, they can side load. In fact, Android, they're not going through the Google store. So their ability to slip
Yeah.
stupid shit in on the Android platform.
Yeah.
That whole security thing that Congress has been bagging them on.
Yeah.
That right there that Mark's
Yeah.
talking about. If you're a security guy, makes you even a little more suspicious of why aren't they willing to put their software through Apple's security checks.
Yeah.
So
'cause
if they're not going to do it on Apple, then I really think the guys in Congress who are doing their shit and really putting the screws to DJI are right. Because
Yeah,
that
it's hard.
tells me, as a security guy, that tells me they may have some
I mean,
things
that's
in
a
there they
good
don't
point.
want people to know about.
They
I
dodgy.
mean, that's a good point. Because it's like, you know, we all know Apple is super scrutinized when it comes
I
to
spent the
putting
last
Apple
5
on their
years of my
store.
military career on the CERT team having to think like the bad guys and being able to keep the bad guys out. So stupid
Mhm.
shit like companies doing stupid shit like that will set me off in a heartbeat
Mm.
of decisions of questioning what they're doing.
I mean, that is a good point, though. It is always a possibility because Apple, like I said,
Apple,
they
you can't
scrutinize the
side load.
shit.
You can't side load. You can't side load, and they scrutinize the shit out of it. So they
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
They can't submit it through Apple's stuff and sneak something pretty nasty in there. So if they only do Android only, they can sneak something pretty nasty
Yeah.
in there, which makes this whole U.S. government case and security worries go up a little bit more with them doing something like that. If they were being legit, they'd just release it on both platforms because they wouldn't have anything to hide.
Well, and then it's like, why don't they have their apps on the Android store? You know,
For the
they
same
let
reason, for the
the-
same reason, and I've wondered that the entire time because they didn't want to go through Google's inspections for the apps either. So from the day that they made that change, I've security wise don't trust them as far as I can throw the moon, which means zero. They're doing shit that
'Cause I
security guys are going to go ape shit.
Well, I think
over-
some of the older DJI apps are still on their app store. It's just not the Fly app, right?
Mhm.
If I remember correctly. Let me look.
And again, as I've said many a time, the risk, and everybody goes, oh, people have taken that software apart and there's nothing there today. You know what? It's not about what's there right at this second. It's about the process.
Mm.
And the process
Yeah.
is the CCP can come in and tell them, put something in your software and they can push it. And they can put something bad in there.
Yeah, so there's a few DJI apps still left on the App Store. for
That's the
Android, but not
that's
much.
the gigantic 800-pound security risk with companies in that country. And it's not just DJI.
Mm.
That's exactly why, Justin, some of the bigger IT companies are leaving that country. I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I've always said, like, the government isn't scrutinizing Apple. Oh, your phones are made in China because it's an American software. If DJI was running American software, they wouldn't give two
Apple
shits
and
where those
Google
drones
both,
were made.
or should I say Apple and Android are both American made. Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And if
So that's why
DJI,
they don't go
Yeah.
after the phones.
if DJI was running American software, they wouldn't give two shits where those drones were made. Because they don't give a
Correct.
crap about the hardware. It's the software
Correct.
that's running it.
Correct.
Yeah.
100% correct. The hardware can't do anything without the software. So it's the
If-
software is the critical part.
I think if DJI wanted to save face in the US, they would get a hold of a US company and say, well, you make the application to run our drones.
If they
And
wanted
we'll
to quit
just build
bitching
them and
about,
send them to you.
yeah, if they wanted to quit bitching about Skydio, they'd just build a plant over here
Yeah.
and the problem would go away. But then again, they could be inspected over here. So maybe they don't want to.
Oh, Matt's not going live today?
Okay.
All right. I
Okay.
don't
Well,
think so.
we have to fill in.
We can do that.
So I get all the people that are going, well, what's the security risk? I get it. The other part of it is, this is for other people to figure out. Although I can think of quite a few things that could put in. So if they stuck something in, what would they do with it? What would it be? And why would it be critical?
I
We
don't know
know we know they're not exactly going to be streaming the video or the pictures across the internet
Well,
because
it'd be
it's
to
just
get
too
out-
goddamn much bandwidth.
It'd be to harvest whatever information's on the device you're using to fly the drone.
Bingo. That would be the target, just like Facebook does, right? You know, how many times has Facebook and Google got caught scarfing info off the devices that
Yeah.
they weren't supposed to be doing? And that's probably the big security risk, is if that DJI app exists on, whatever.
Well, it's kind of like,
What info could leak?
And I understand the argument of, well, American companies do it too, but it's like you got to go with the lesser of two evils, I guess. Would you rather have would you rather have an American company harvesting your data or a Chinese company? Because it's going to happen.
I'd rather
on
have
both
neither.
sides.
I'd rather
Well, I
have
would-
neither.
I would rather have neither too, but we all know that it happens on both sides. So it's like, I don't know, unless they were to bring legislation forward that would protect you from stuff like that, which they haven't done, obviously, we know that.
Here, let me clue
That's not going live tonight.
let me clue you in on something.
Yeah.
This is something that happened several years ago, but the NSA has listening devices on the core of the internet,
Mm.
on the core routers of the internet. They're literally scarfing everything that comes in and out of the United States.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Facebook
doubt that at all.
when that news came out, Facebook and Google found themselves in a big hot water because they were not encrypting their data between their data centers between the US and other places. So literally they were exposing everything to the NSA. So they had to quickly implement encryption routines to encrypt their data, both Facebook and Google, between their data centers, because they were being lazy fucks and not using encryption between data centers.
Well, Mark's got a point there, if you're using the RC controllers, you really don't have any information on there, I guess they really could take, because you can't really download your own shit on there.
The RC
Yeah.
Pro, you can sideload apps, but I don't know that you would be
All right,
putting
Rob.
social media
Hey, Ron.
apps and things like that on there that would have info that
You
it's not like
leaving?
you're putting your banking app on there. So
You
Yeah, that'd be
leaving,
a
Rob?
good one. That'd be a good idea. Put your
What?
banking.
Put your
app
ba-
on one-
I gotta
Put
make
your-
some phone calls. See,
Yeah.
see you guys.
Okay.
Alright, Ron.
I don't know, Dominic. Do you want to be doing your banking work while you're flying the drone too?
That's a,
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's a good point, Mark, and most
Right
like,
back in his neck.
I would have to agree with
Got a
Rob.
phone
People
call.
probably aren't gonna be side loading their banking apps and all that shit on there.
Yeah, on the RC. So in some ways, they're helping us by releasing the RC and the RC Pro, right? And using those devices versus having to fly with our drones. The risk, I would say in that instance, the risk is lower, right? If you're flying with those devices, that if they put something in the software, what are they going to get? Next to nothing.
Well, what if you were to plug that into your computer?
Yeah, who plugs it into their computer? Other than, well, you could, because if you're using the DJI Assist app to update your devices or whatever, but I don't know about you, but I do over the air updates.
Yeah, but some of that stuff is the long-term game, right? They just sit around and wait for you to do that.
Sure.
At some point, you may plug it in. That's
Yeah,
all
sure.
they need is that one time.
But you know, I've even sat around and thought, what would they do with the drones, right? So let's say they took over a drone. What could you do with it? One, you can't do like a pilot because you can't actually see it, right? It's just software. So they'd have to have a fixed set of targets, you know, like oil wells or things like that, where you'd fly the drone in and then overheat the battery to try to set things on fire. That would be the sort of the physical thing that they could try to do with the drones, but it has to be something that's a fixed target and fixed and well-known target, right? As the risk. So I don't know, you know, and it's like, oh great, you're gonna fly the drone over and fly it down the runway and try to blow up a jet engine or something. I don't know. I think that would be damn near impossible to do. And have the timing or something like that. So the only thing I can think of is gas lines, pipelines, things like that. And sort of land the drone, overheat the battery, and try to set something on fire. That's about the worst of the physical risk that I could think of that they could do to the software. So it's really more about what information is on the device, i.e. the phone, that they could steal. So the fact that Google and Facebook have done the same thing, yeah, we should be worried about DJI doing the exact same thing as those companies did. We bitched at them too.
Hey, Paul, are you going for coffee tonight?
Oh, no, I'm at the trailer.
Okay, all right.
But I gotta go for supper shortly.
Where are you going?
Diane, she's just here. She said be
Oh.
ready in 10 minutes.
All right.
She's just heating it up or something. She just got home, eh? And guess where Gracie is?
Oh, with Diane.
I
Yeah.
got Vader. I think. Yep, Vader's right there.
But you know, Justin, thinking about it, think about the government agency thing. What are they flying those drones with? They're flying it with the enterprise. They're flying it with the enterprise controller. They're not flying it with any phone. So I'll be damned if I can figure out. Right. So what? They update the software on that enterprise drone, just like the RC or the RC Pro. What are they going to get? I have no idea what they would be getting.
I have no idea.
So this whole government banning thing is
No, I think the whole banning thing, I don't think they're really worried about a security issue with DJI. I think it's just in a bigger pot of
political,
Chinese
yes.
stuff that they want to just.
It is. It's not like Huawei. Huawei was real. Huawei was super real. Because you're putting devices in that are critical to the infrastructure. So
Right.
that was deadly real. This information stealing, the questions, just as we just talked through, the question is, what are they going to steal? Only, I guess if you're flying with a phone, then they could try to steal anything that's on your phone. But if you're not flying, I guess that's all the more reason to fly with the RC or the RC Pro, right? Because then there's literally nothing to information wise. There's literally like nothing to steal that they don't already know. It's not like they don't already have the flight logs.
I mean, the worst,
what?
the most, I would say the most critical thing that they would have in that case is probably whatever banking information you have to purchase, you know, if you want to buy something through the DG. On the RC Pro, I'm
Well, they have
assuming
that when
there's-
you buy it through their store, so
Right,
they have that
right.
info they already have. So
That's
I-
probably about the most extensive info they would get from that. If you had like the DJI store app on there, you know.
So I've done my normal noodling through this. The security risk is real. The actual what they can do with it is you know a little questionable. If it's a phone device, then again, just like Facebook, Google, they can steal everything. So I guess that's all the more reason fly with the RC.
Yeah.
Problem solved from a privacy standpoint. Especially the RC, because you can't sideload anything on that. So I guess they do give you Chrome on those devices, so they could they could scarf up your browsing history. But who the hell browses the web with their RC device?
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
I'm
know.
browsing.
You might-
If
you
I'm
might wanna
browsing the
take
web, yeah, if I'm browsing the web, it's going to go to, hey, I'm going to before you fly, or I'm going to UAV forecast, right? To
Yeah.
look up something with the drone. So it's like, if they want to know that I'm browsing drone sites, go ahead. I don't care. They can have that all they want.
Hmm.
Looks like, yeah, Matt messaged me as well. I just
He's not
checked.
gonna bother coming on tonight.
Yeah, he
Well,
must have messaged.
Justin's gonna take his place.
He messaged
Mark?
Tim and then he messaged me.
Yeah, Mark, that's an interesting point. But if they put bad shit in the software, they'd remove the geo zone.
Hmm.
I told Matt, I said, I'll go live and just pop in from your phone when you're
So
chilling in your chair.
you
that
go.
wouldn't matter if they were trying to do something nefarious.
I mean, technically he could run his live stream from his phone, but that's a pain in the ass too, but you can't
Yeah.
do it.
I've done that. Too hard.
Unless he has a laptop. He could sit in
Yeah.
his chair.
I miss those days in the military. I enjoyed those last 5 years working around, sort of working through scenarios and trying to think like bad guys and
What's up, Bill?
Bill from Newfoundland.
Hey,
Bill,
Bill.
how you doing, Bill?
Get you sit on my-
security risk threats.
Yeah.
Get you
That
said, oh
whole
my God,
process.
reading the emoji meanings now. Uh,
Oh, Justin, you're gonna be here for a while?
what, on your live stream?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because Matt doesn't normally go live till 8 PM, so I can stay on here for a little bit. Why, are you going down to catch a ship
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, I've got to do a ship and then I got to go get gas for my generator.
Yeah,
That's
cause
fine.
I'm gonna be leaving in about 5 minutes here. to Go
Yeah.
get my car up to the house, so.
So I could make you host or give you a break before you go live.
I mean, I'm not going live for another 2 hours anyway, so it don't matter. to me.
Dominic's gonna be heading out.
Well, I'm going to the footy today. So I'm going
Going
to
to the
be
what?
football.
The footy.
Footy,
Where's
Footy.
my
Footy.
ticket? Where's my ticket? Damn it!
So I've got to get ready and position myself at my brother's place so I can go on with Justin.
Okay.
And that's not
Uh,
for at least 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, you can go ahead and go, Paul, and then when Dominic's ready to leave, I'll shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make you a host. Okay, you're the host.
You need to go and see if you
Hey,
can get some
everybody
shots
in the
of.
chat and everybody, hey, hi, how you doing? I gotta run. I'm doing two things, is I like to get in a little bit of flying while the weather's halfway decent, but I also have to feed that damn generator at $3.75 a gallon.
Well,
So,
disconnect your
it's been-
hotspot when you get
Yep.
off, so you're not wasting it.
If I disconnect it, will it disconnect this?
No, because you made the
No,
host,
because
so
Okay, all right.
you're good.
Okay, all right. We'll
Yeah,
see
I said
everybody.
Australian rules.
Later, Paul.
Yeah,
We call it-
bye-bye.
I call it footy.
Yeah, he's talking AFL, Gitchy, over in Australia, right? I
I
get the
can
right
send
one.
you. I can send you the link. I could send you the link if you want to have a watch of it.
You
Sure.
just send her your Facebook group link,
Yeah,
because that's a big old football thing if she wants to get into watching that.
yeah.
So here's a question, just as a theoretical to throw it out there. We've been talking about
Yeah.
everybody
I gotta go, guys.
not needing to
Dinner is
upgrade to the
You're
not
leaving,
needing
Hodges?
to upgrade to the
Yeah,
Air
I
3.
gotta go get my dinner, so
All right, we'll see you later.
see you guys later.
Joy,
Bye.
Joy.
So my question is, who are the good targets that really should be thinking about upgrading to an Air 3? Obviously, nobody that has a Mavic 3 anything, and even the Mini 3 Pro.
I mean, I guess if you have an Air 2 or a Mini 2 and you just want something
Air 2
newer,
Mini, anybody that only has the Air 2 or the Mini 2 should definitely be looking at the Air 3. For
Yeah.
those folks, it
Yeah,
would
if
definitely,
If I had the
That's a
money,
for
I'd be going out
sure-
and buying it.
that's a for sure upgrade for those folks.
Yeah,
100%.
I
Air
mean-
2S, okay,
If you're an
that's a
Air 2S,
lot
just
more
leave it.
questionable. I'd keep the Air 2S.
yeah, I mean, if you wanted to save, if you didn't even want to spend Air 3 money, an Air 2S, I guess, would be a pretty decent upgrade from those if you just wanted to get something a little newer. Because the
I'm not even
prices
sure
of
you'd
those
Mavic.
are
Yeah.
probably gonna go down.
Even if you were stuck with like a Mavic 2 Pro, I'm not sure. Quality wise, the Mavic 2 Pro would be better. The problem with the Mavic 2 Pro is the fucking batteries.
Yeah, true.
It swelled batteries really bad.
I thought that was just one batch of batteries though at a specific time. Or
Mm.
it was a specific time in one of the
I don't
years.
know.
wasn't
According to Dobo, it was kind of like all the time. So too bad Ron's not on here. Because he has the Mavic 2 Pro.
I don't know if he ever had that. I don't remember him ever saying if he had a problem with that.
Anyways, if you only have a Mini 2 or an Air 2, then for sure you should be looking at the Air 3.
Who was the one that had the, I think it was Jim from Above and Beyond Drones. I think he had a couple of batteries swell on him. And I think DJI replaced them for free.
If you
That's-
don't need the telephoto, which by the way, you really need the telephoto. As much as I use that damn lens, you really need the telephoto. I'll take the smaller sensor size. Chuck be damned. I still like that smaller sensor with the 3x telephoto. I use that more than the Micro Four Thirds camera. But anyways, if for whatever reason you go, I don't really need the telephoto, then I would say get the Mini 3 Pro instead of the Air 3. Quality wise of sort of standard picture video, Mini 3 Pro is going to be just as good as the Air 3.
Well, I'd say too, if you didn't really have the money to upgrade, there's nothing wrong with sticking with your Mini 2 or Air 2 if that's all you can afford at the time.
Mm,
Like I said, if you don't have
The
the
Air
money
2
to upgrade, I
camera-
wouldn't stress on it.
yeah, the Air 2 camera leaves a lot to be desired, if you want my honest opinion, and that was my first drone.
The only problem I didn't like about the Mini 2 was it kind of, if you didn't do like adjustments in post, it always blew out the sky. Like the clouds and shit. You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
really see detail, it just looked like a white blur.
And I suppose the other part to this is all the folks who don't have a DJI or an Autel, right? Maybe you have a Hubsan Zeno or you have one of those other stupid ones that are out there. Then, the Air 3 might be a really good drone
Oh, you know what's funny though is
for
people
that
will
crowd.
people will spend $300-400 on like one of those Roku drones.
There's one,
Yeah.
it's like the Black Ranger or something. I don't know. It's a black drone. It's like $1,700.
But
The
that's
Mini
the
2,
thing.
the Mini 2 is probably better than probably has a better camera than that thing. What the hell? Trying to think of the name of that drone. It's black. It's
Mini
about the
2 had-
size of an Air 3.
I don't think you could you couldn't adjust your shutter speed in the Mini 2, can you?
No,
No, not the shutter speed, only the EV, only the EV.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember it
Shutter,
ever
shutter
having
speed,
the
yeah, you can, sorry.
You can?
shutter, just not
Yeah,
aperture.
shutter speed, yes.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it was a little bit limited compared to like the Air 2S and all those guys. Well, I was one of those people. I just
Try.
posted whatever the drone saw. I didn't really do a lot of editing like Matt and everybody else did.
Yeah, there's one. I think it's called like the Black Ranger or something like that. That I talked to a guy here in Norman at the beach who had the damn thing, and I asked him how much he paid for it. He was like $700-800, and I just like shook my head. Like
Yeah,
you could have
Bill.
bought a Mini 2 for and had a better drone.
Yeah, Bill, I was never really into fucking with camera settings.
Yeah,
I just
I
kinda flew it as
generally
is.
leave it at auto. The trouble is,
I just wasn't into the editing like Matt and them. I didn't have an interest in it. It bored the shit out of me.
What I wish DJI would add that Autel has, and there's no damn reason why they couldn't. It would just be a simple firmware
Yeah.
change because it's a little bit of processing power. Autel has that defog, which is dehaze in DaVinci Resolve. I really wish they'd add it. I like the colors that you get out of doing that. You can get much better oranges and blues and purples using dehaze. It gets the white out of the video, so everything just pops better. I really wish they would. I really wish they'd add it.
Freaking Gitchy. She's really dove into the emoji thing.
Hmm,
Yeah, I was never really into the whole editing thing like Matt was. I mean, it's alright. It already takes up enough time trying to find a spot, go to it, fly it. You know, especially if you're somebody that wants to change it up all the time, then you're always going farther out from your house, farther out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
Matt's got to the point where he'll drive two hours just because he's been damn near every place around near his house. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting to that point where I'm looking further and further out for things to go fly.
Right.
Because I've flown so many times and flown the crap around here so many times that it's just like, eh. But that's what makes going to the beach where the surfers are interesting, is because, well, obviously the surfing is it's surfers, but you know, it's different. The waves are different. The people are different. So there is some variability when filming that.
But yeah, I
okay,
get it.
I've sent you something.
Yeah, because it's already hard enough getting people to watch your videos already. And if you're flying the same spot all the time, people really aren't going to want to watch it. Because, you know, they're seeing the same piece of property every time you fly a drone. Unless you're
Yeah.
doing like review videos, that's one thing. If you're doing review and how-to videos, that doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you're doing,
I mean, look at Marcus. He flies that damn cell tower how many times?
Hmm,
He does his droning and flies over to the cell tower and does his circle around the cell tower. He's probably done that 1,000 times.
Get you said I quit. Thanks, Dominic.
Oh, so I sent her I've sent her a video to explain Australian rules, but it's two African Americans that have been watching AFL from America for the last 2 years, and they put their own spin on it rather than sending a video of
So
the
they
rules.
explain it in a more American type terms. to make
Yeah,
it
they
easier.
explain it in their own style.
Okay.
And
So it
they
comes
also-
from the hood. Got it.
Yeah,
I'm from
And
the hood.
I found these, and they are hilarious.
It
what
sounds
they-
hilarious.
I'll send you the video as well.
Somebody describing it like they would describe something that's got to be hilarious. It's got to be funny.
Well, I'm saying like it's easier for an American that understands it really well to compare it to something like,
Sure.
oh, in the NFL, this is what that kind of would be like is this, and then it gives it
Mm.
easier terms for people to understand. If they can kind of compare it to other sports that are here, as far as like what certain penalties might be, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Mark says it's because that they wear hot pants. They like their span.
The other thing,
We know why Mark's watching it now.
yeah,
Little Robin Williams explaining golf.
yeah. But the other thing with these two is that if you actually go to their channel, I'll send you the link to their channel. And basically what they've done, what they did was they've only been watching for like 2 or 3 years. So they're not rusted on as much as myself who's been watching it for 50 years. And they're putting their own slant on it at the same time as analyzing it. Because what they do is they have a video on their channel. It says what team to support, and they explain all the teams, and then they explain all the theme songs. Because at the start of the game, when the teams run out on the ground, each team plays their own theme song. And after the game, when the game is finished, only the winning team gets their song played. So that's just a quick appraisal of that. Game goes.
It's not
for
about the football, it's about the song.
yeah. You play for the song.
You play for the song.
Yeah.
Play so you can play your song. That's why we're playing to win this game. We want to play
Well,
our
it's all-
song, damn it.
It's always easier when you got somebody from your own country that understands something that can explain it to you versus somebody from that country trying to explain it to you.
Yeah, because I thought it was very, as I said, I found them, found their channel during lockdown. And I found it very interesting how they were able to explain it from their point of view.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's interesting for somebody like you who's watched it all of his life to see how other people are interpreting it.
Yeah.
I mean, do they do a good job at it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
And
good.
they initially did a reaction live stream, and then YouTube got a panties in a knot and weren't allowed to show any footage. So now they just sit on their laptop and talk about it because they live
Yeah,
five
Dominic-
of the 9 games a week.
Dominic got one of my live streams taken down too. Remember
Yeah.
he was showing an AFL clip for like 2 minutes. Yeah, they weren't having that shit.
Yeah, they got their
They
panties.
copy-
in.
Yeah, they actually removed that live stream completely.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even let me edit it out. They just said, nope, you're not having it at all. YouTube made me take the whole damn, YouTube removed it themselves and wouldn't let me re-upload it without the footage.
I like Gaelic football. That's another one that I enjoy watching. No, basically what happens is, and I'll just quickly make a comment on it, is that at the start there are 4 quarters in a game, 20 minutes in each plus stoppage time. They bounce the ball to start the game, and every time a goal is scored, which is putting between the 2 sticks, the ball comes back to the middle and they bounce it again. If you miss and you go through the 2 smaller posts, they're called behinds, and the opposition gets the ball back and they kick it back into play. When the ball goes over the line, and out of play, the umpire throws it back in. So that's a very basic concept. You have to bounce the ball. You can only take 15 steps when you run and carry the ball, and you have to bounce the ball. Now, bouncing a oval shaped ball is very interesting, I must say.
Takes talent.
Yeah, it does. You can you can't throw the ball. You have to handball it like that. So the ball is there, and you have to do that. That
Or
is a
kick it.
handball. That is, if you throw it, the umpire will say you've thrown it and give a free kick to the opposition. So that's just a very simple. That's a simple appraisal of AFL, but there are nuances, and it does get a little bit more complicated as to what goes on. So if you kick the ball and the next player marks it, it's considered a mark, and the player can't tackle. So it's a very simplistic version of explaining it.
Forget the handball. I like it when they kick it forward, damn it. For the
Kicking
passes.
forward is more useful.
Yeah. The handball usually means you're about to get your ass run over. So you're in emergency mode. I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Especially when you handball to a
run
player.
over.
If you handball to a player with a player near them, called the hospital handball, and they get tackled. So, as I said, it's got more nuances in what I've just said, but yeah.
I like
It's a
how
simple
everybody
game.
thinks oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you were saying.
I was gonna say, I love how everybody thinks that the padding is actually all that much padding in the NFL, because it really
Hmm.
isn't that thick of padding. It's actually quite thin.
Yeah, well, we have no padding. The only time there's padding is on the goalposts.
Oh, yeah, you run into one of those at full speed, you're fucked.
Yes. And where I've seen that happen a couple of times, where players have run into a post.
Yeah, with no pads and no helmet. God, that would hurt.
Yeah.
I still say it's a much more manly sport than the NFL. Screw the NFL. Give me
Well, I
footy.
watch
Give
both.
me
So,
give me footy.
yeah, I enjoy both sports. And the good thing about it is the NFL starts at the time when our main season finishes.
Oh,
I can
gotcha.
watch both.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Because once you finish, because we have 24 rounds in the season, once you finish that, the teams that finish in the top 8 go on to what you would call the playoffs. We call them finals. And it's over a month where teams get eliminated, and you find the last 2 teams play grand final day, which is the last Saturday in September. It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I kind of hate the NFL. I like college football better.
Hmm.
Now, there are some people that don't. They're either fans of both, or they might be fans of one or the other.
I way prefer college football over NFL.
Oh,
Hmm.
here's a fun fact about the NFL. You know, it's actually harder to become a Navy SEAL than it is to get into the NFL. And the NFL is almost damn near impossible. It's like your chances of getting into the NFL are super slim.
When you've got probably 200,000 or 300,000 kids playing Australian rules, and only 700 players playing in the AFL, the top league, yeah, it is
Yeah,
pretty
it's the
hard to get
same.
into.
Yeah, same thing over here too. You got, millions of kids around the country playing college and high school footballs and all that. And the thing is you got to make it through.
Hmm.
And this is if you start in high school, right? You got to make it through high school. You got to make it through college without getting any serious injuries
Yeah.
to even get there, because there's a lot of guys that were badass in high school, but then they got injured on their last year or whatever, had some major injury, and they weren't able to go to college, or same thing in college.
Yeah,
It might have
Gaelic,
been-
I like Gaelic football. Actually,
Huh.
one
I'll have
one
to
of the
look that,
players
I'll have to
on my
look that
team
one up. I'll have to look that one up.
play Gaelic football. Probably 3 or 4 kind of count. Yeah, there's 4 players from Ireland that have come over and play football in our game. We've got one American, Mason Cox, who was born in America, played basketball and came over here to play our game.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
we've
get
got
you.
4 Irishmen, 2 that were born in New Zealand, and 1 that was born in the UK, but he's retired.
I 100% boycotted all professional sports 3 years ago, and I haven't even watched the Super Bowl in 3 years.
I don't have,
Mhm.
I don't have TV at the house. So if I
Oh.
want to actually watch it on TV, I have to go to a bar or restaurant. I literally have no TV at the house.
I don't watch professional sports anymore. They got too damn political. Especially the
Yeah.
one that threw me over the edge was the whole NASCAR thing when that jackass driver claimed that they put a noose in his garage and
Yeah,
it was just
that
the
is
pull
Juicy
down rope for
Smollett.
it was just the pull down rope for the garage door.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Dude, I've seen those on garage doors ever since I was little, and I grew up in that's
Yeah.
one of the business my dad owned on the side from being a firefighter. He had a big towing and garage company. And every one of the garage doors had a noose. It wasn't even a noose, it was just a
Yeah.
circle tied
Just a-
rope for
Yeah.
pulling the garage door down. Every one of them had it because you couldn't reach 12 feet up in the air to pull a garage door down or 18 feet in the air, depending on which door it was. You
Yeah,
had to have
exactly.
something to reach up and pull it down with. If it didn't have the chains,
Okay.
because these were old school doors that didn't have the chain ones.
Golf. Mark brings up about golf. Now, golf. Now, my main one is AFL. Like, because we've got Australian rules, we've got rugby league, we've got soccer, world football, but that season's finished.
I can't listen to somebody that's worth $100 million crying about equality. Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no,
Like,
agreed.
Especially when you grew up in a rich family. That's half of these players that
And
were
believe me, everything overrides everything over here, even more than religion. Our football teams are our religion. Doesn't matter what political side you're on. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Doesn't matter your race, your color, your creed, whatever, your gender preference. If you barrack for the same team, you're all the same here.
You know who was an awesome NFL player that I have the utmost respect for was Pat Tillman. He left an NFL career making millions, was about to be one of the biggest players in NFL history, and he walked away to go join the military and died for it.
Okay.
And he could have stayed in the NFL and made millions and never thought twice about it. That is somebody
I
have
agree
respect
with
for.
you. Yeah, there's a couple of situations over here with our footballers. I just ignore it. Yeah, football is life.
The money is stupid. That's all I got to say. The money is stupid.
Oh yeah, NFL money is insane how much. Because Dominic, didn't you say they just recently? Didn't you guys just get your first $1 million contract?
Yeah, we've
over
got
there?
I think 4 of them now.
Yeah, and over here $1 million. Like the base pay for any NFL player in the NFL is $750,000 a year.
You want to
the
what? You
lowest
want to know
pay.
why your subscription for ESPN keeps going up every year and your
Exactly.
TV keeps going up every year? Because we keep paying these sports guys more and more,
Yeah.
and those leagues and everything else. That's why your shit's getting expensive. So
Yeah,
know.
because we have what's called the CBA, which is the collective bargaining agreement for the
Exactly,
AFL
Joe.
TV rights. and that keeps going up every 4 years.
I loved it when that soccer player over here in the US was bitching, or was she from the US team? The one that was bitching about because the women players weren't getting paid as much as the male
Yeah,
players.
Megan.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the
Rapinoe.
US. That was the US players.
But the
Yeah.
thing was, is she didn't think about, the male players team pulls in over $1 billion a year.
We've
Our
got
team
that
only pulls
argument going on at the moment because of the Women's World Cup over here.
You get paid by how much money you bring in.
Yeah, you get a
Plain and
percentage
simple.
of that.
If you're and unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but women's sports just doesn't bring in the money men's sports does. And that's just the basic
Unfortunately, yes.
truth across the board everywhere. And that's and I hate that. I mean, but if you look at the WNBA, the women's NBA,
Yeah, we've got the same thing with the AFLW.
how often do you hear anybody talking about that? Could you, without Googling it, could you name 10 famous players from the WNBA versus how easy you could think of 10 famous players in the NBA right off the top of your head? You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's just the way it is, but you can't expect to make $100 million a year if the males version of your team is bringing in $1 billion and you're only bringing in 100 million.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't expect them to pay you that. That's just the way it is.
Just to get you, did you say you were Detroit Lions? NFL?
No, I think she likes the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Now
He's gonna reach through and smack you.
I started supporting Green Bay Packers about 40 years ago because of the Laverne and Shirley TV show.
Oh, there you
And-
go.
And
Happy
the other
days.
thing is, Green Bay Packers also has a friendship agreement, a sister agreement with my AFL team, Hawthorn.
And the only publicly owned stadium.
Yes, I know about that, and I know about the Cheeseheads as well.
Mark, now what is that compared to the men's US Open? Because I don't know
Boobs.
that much
And
about
then-
golf. So what is that compared to the men's Because I mean, look at frickin' Tiger Woods. That dude damn near was what, a billionaire off of damn golf, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
the
and
amount of
here's-
endorsements that man got was insane.
And here's the other part of this, and this is true both NFL and especially the NBA. They make more money off endorsements
Yeah,
than
yeah.
they're making off their salary by a wide margin. Wide margin.
Right, but you having $100 million contract brings in big ass endorsements. Like, yeah, yeah, your 100 million is quite a bit, but you're gonna bring in 300 or 400 million in endorsements.
Mm.
I mean, and you're gonna be damn near a billionaire if you're like Tom Brady by the end of it. What the hell's his net worth now? Let's see.
I'm sure a lot.
Yeah, because you know,
He had
players-
he had his
beginning
he had his
year.
TB12 sports
yeah, because we
business.
we do contracts over 4 or 5 years, and what'll happen is they'll either front end the contract and put money at the front of their contract, and then it gets smaller as they go on, or they rear end the contract and get less money at the start to fit in the salary cap, and then as the contract goes on, they get more money, as well as triggering contracts if you play a certain amount of games in that year, and they
But
get
check this-
bonus.
Oh, check this shit out. Tom Brady's net worth is 300 million, but I think he was about to sign $100 million contract to do the sportscaster shit. And not only that, his wife has a $400 million fortune of her own from being a supermodel.
He had more money than he did, yeah, from being a model. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're gonna be, I mean, even retiring with 300 million, that's insane. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's,
Okay. Here's another interesting one for you. Our mascot names and
okay,
team.
Mark.
There are a few that are the same here and the same in the NFL as well, which I think is interesting.
Well, Mark,
we're
it's good to see
fine.
them closing that gap up.
Yeah, so we've got a Saints, we've got an Eagles, we've got who else is there? That I think there's 4 or 5. We don't have a Cowboys. There's a Cowboys in the NRL, which is a different competition, but no,
Oh, that's his ex-wife now, Joe.
yeah,
Yeah, it's his ex-wife.
And tomorrow is the day that we spray and pray for Dan on that scooter.
hey, I'll be watching.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, get you. Now
And
you and I have a problem.
And that,
Michigan, man. It's Michigan.
yeah, just
I'm
before
from
I,
Ohio. There's no M in Michigan. It's Michigan.
just before I go,
We hate
One more-
the team up north, damn it.
one last thing before I'll say about our game is if you pick a team, you can't change. You're not allowed to change. You pick one, that's it. You pick a team and you bleed that team's colors.
All right, guys, since Dominic's leaving, we're gonna go ahead and end it, but I'll
Ah.
be, oh, there's Paul Murray, but I'll be
I-
covering Matt's show tonight, so.
I'm gonna,
I just went out to load up the gas tanks, and the neighbor's Generac shut down as I was getting the ready to put in the truck. And so I walked over and I had one of the neighbors go and check their electric, and he says, "Hey, but God, it's on." And he just came back from buying 10 gallons worth of fuel himself.
I'll
So
get you some fuel saver stuff, throw it in there, and then you got gas for next time.
yeah,
Put it in the garage. Just make sure you put that treatment in
I
there.
am so happy. They call me
Oh.
Mr. Happy.
Well, get on your, whatever app, your Walmart app and order you some gas treatment for it.
yeah,
I
So
got
you can
some.
put it under, okay.
I got some. The last time I went and got it, I got them, and I had all 3 of the 5-gallon with treatment in it. So
All right.
Yeah, what I tend to do is usually about this month, July, could be August. I'll fill up my gas cans, and then, by November, once hurricane season's over, then I just dump it in my vehicles and use it all up.
okay, then I'll
Anyways,
see you.
hey, Dominic, sorry
All
to
right, I'm
hold you
off.
up.
Yeah, I'll see you on Justin's later.
Okay, Justin,
Alright.
you're going to be on at what time, Justin?
8 PM, we'll be covering Matt's
8
show. If you
o'clock,
guys
an
wanna
hour.
come over.
Go home and get yourself some rest, something to eat, and get ready for a really big shoe.
And Matt
Big
will
Chew?
be, I messaged Matt, he said he'd probably be on from his phone, sitting in his chair in his living room.
There you
so
go. Okay.
Okay, then
just
we'll
be
see you
running
then.
We'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
everybody.
See you later.